Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Brick Rigs. We're here on the city map, as always, because I'm going to be showing off a couple of vehicles which I have made, which are all of the same theme, which is old style cars. So first of all, I've got this thing, which is a 1930 sports car, because, I'd created a whole collection, there it is, for all of my 1930s vehicles and builds. However, up until this point, the only things I got in them was race cars, and I'd written the description as all of my 1930s builds, including race cars and cars and whatnot. And I realised that I hadn't actually got any cars for it, other than race cars, which made it a bit limited. So, what I did is started building, or at least branching off into more old style vehicles. So this was the first thing that I built, which was a 1930s style sports car. So from the front you've got the grille here, which are just two chrome grille pieces, and then you've got some glass redirectors, and then behind here you've got a V8 engine, which, if I can select it, where you can see the gear ratio has changed to 1.25 gear ratio. In fact, I could just remove this whole section. So in order to build up the front body look, I used some of these rounded pieces. These are what, 4x1 ramps, and these are just placed on top of a couple of bricks there. And then on the front you've got this sort of little decal, this radiator topper, as it were, which is just a cone on a chrome cylinder, and that's just put on top of the redirectors. And then to make the look of the runners along the side of the vehicle, these are just some 3x2x1 flat pieces. The whole bonnet was meant to be wider, so these things were meant to be out here, but as it happens, this is how it turned out, and it could have turned out worse. And then on the front you've just got a couple of these redirectors, which are just mounting the headlights and the indicators. And then on the front I've got the number plate, which is RS 1930, which stands for Roadster 1930, because I had a look at roadsters and sports cars, just as a quick search in Google Images for old style roadsters and sports cars, and roadsters look different to the sports cars, so this is more of a sports car, hence why it's called sports car. And then on the side you've just got the exhaust here, just a chrome exhaust on a redirector which has been turned. And then you've got a couple of these antennas also on redirectors. Heading backwards you've got this light cylinder just on the side here. You've got two of them there, and those are indicators, obviously. And then flat plates, which just make the whole thing look nicer. And then you've got these doors. These are actually gull wing doors, so these open upwards, as you can tell by the arrows there, and the fact that the actuators are mounted vertically rather than on the horizontal. And then you've also got the windscreen at the front there, which is just a simple nice thing. And then you've got this beige, as if it was nice leather, for the seats. And then you've got just this this nice oak wood inner panelling and sort of dashboard thing. And then of course you've got the steering wheel and the gear stick. And then of course on the doors you've also got some nice wood panelling along with the back here. And then heading to the back, this is meant to be like it's a convertible, as it were. So this is meant to be the roof, as if it were, leather or something like that. So that's why that's in beige. And then at the back you've got these, which are reverse lights there, high level brake light, simple rear window, which is just a couple of ramps on a brick, because these are trapezoid bricks, and so just use some ramps there just to give it a nicer feel. And then you've got on the back, spare wheel, got this nice rounded rear with a very nice spare wheel on the back, which has got the little hubcap. And then on the back you've got tail light and indicators, and of course the more runners and the rear number plate. And then the whole colour scheme of this has been red and dark red, as you can see. Some of the main chassis uses the normal red, and then some of the highlights, such as the doors, the top of the front chassis, and the wheels are in dark red. And so I thought that gave it a nice contrast. And then the light beige roof just added a nicer contrast to it. So this is how it looks. Here you've got the inside of the vehicle here. So WSAD to drive as per normal. H for the headlights and tail lights. As we can see there, here's what it looks like from the rear. The wheel spins for some reason, but only because it has to be mounted on an axle. And then of course there's the reverse lights, brake lights, and then there we go. To open the doors, it's pitch, and that simply opens and closes the gull-wing doors, like so. And yeah, so that's how it looks. Nothing fancy, really, in terms of controls at least. You do have some runners there, just sort of side tread plates, as it were, rather, which are just dark red. And yeah, that is the first of the sports cars that I made. It handles perfectly fine. The V8 engine, limited, it goes about 150, but here we go, as you can see, we're motoring along here. You've got a nice big open, there goes the roof, and it's convertible now. But yeah, so you've got a nice open cabin, so you've got no real restrictions in terms of view, other than perhaps the side there. But yeah, I forgot to add. I did, however, forget to add side wing mirrors, unfortunately. But oh well, minor detail. Who needs side mirrors anyway? And yeah, so that is the 1930s sports car version 1, which I made because, well, yeah. Whilst this is nice, I did decide to make another version. And if we get it out here, where is it? There it is. This is version 2. As you can see, it is for a part unchanged. From the front, as you can see, the grille is now gold, just to make it look slightly different. The engine is in the same place. The bonnet and everything else is in the same place as well. The number plate as well, which has been changed to SC 1930 sports car, obviously. So sports car 1930. The whole thing is in light blue, or yeah, light blue and dark blue, which gave it a nice contrasting colour. So yeah, there's the front grille. The indicators there, just on a couple of redirectors. The runners I changed from chrome to black because I think the black gave a nicer contrast. The spare wheel was moved from the rear of the car to the side of the car here, as you can see, as if it was sort of inside of the runner, as if the runner had a cutout. And then the lights I decided to put on stalks, so yeah, that's just a simple rounded brick half sphere with a redirector on the back there, as you can see, and then just a normal light cylinder on there for the headlights. The bonnet ornament was changed as well to one of this new rounded ramp pieces, or at least new at the time of recording this, and then that's just put on the standard cylinder. As for the side, these things were changed. These are now chrome, and the antennas have just been placed in slightly different places. Yeah, so dark blue wheels. The doors now open sideways like normal doors rather than having a gull wing, so yeah, that changed. It's now got a brown canvas roof, which just makes the roof look slightly different. And also on the side we have got some of these just handles, just because handles. And then the interior is now being changed to pine wood rather than oak wood, just to give it a slightly different feel. And also it's got brown leather seats, just because, why not? And so yeah, it's got the pine finish, dark blue runners on the side there. Doors swing open. Lights are all in the same place, so you've got your brake light, warning light, reverse, high level, all of that. This rounding actually took a while to perfect on the back of the vehicle here, and whilst it's not perfect, I did have to make a lot of changes, and this is probably what I spent most of my time on, actually trying to do this for the vehicle. But eventually I managed to sort it out, because of course there is no spare wheel on there, so I have to round it off. So yeah, there's that. The exhaust was also changed. It's no longer at the front, it's now at the back. Just something else to note. And yeah, so if we head out into this vehicle, here we go. As you can see, here's how it looks from the front. All very nice, with those lights on stalks as per the old cars. Spare wheel, of course, sitting pretty on that side of the car. all of these have been done with driving in Britain in mind, so yeah, of course you're driving from the right side of the car. But again, hood ornament or bonnet ornament, you've now got more of a view out back. Once again, nice open cabin, and then the doors of course open like so, which is rather nice. And yeah, that's the most you can say about it. Nice old grille there. Again, the same engine, so it's limited to 1.25 gear ratio, just to try and slow it down a little bit, as if it was an old style car. Here it looks in the daytime, so yeah. And I think that the dark blue and light blue combination works very well. In fact, the dark blue works with any kind of blue, and the dark red also matches with the normal red very nicely for the other car. And so yeah, these are two sort of nice high-class sports cars of the time. Driving on the wrong side of the road. There we go. So yeah, that is the sports car. And of course, can't just stop at cars. You can't have just cars in a collection. Well, you can, but that's not what I wanted to do. So what I did is I branched out into a van. So keeping with the same sort of chassis as the sports cars, I modified them. In fact, you can hardly tell that they're actually from the same chassis, but they are. I did use the sports cars as the base chassis for the vans. As I just take a sip of tea there. So the front of the car here, you've got grills as this front bumper, as it were. The number plate is also changed to say van 1930, because of course it's a 1930 style van. So you've got the indicators down here underneath the runners, which are just a small runners there. And then what you've got, oh, actually these aren't painted in any sort of colour. We must change that. There we go. White, otherwise it looked slightly odd. But yeah, so these lights again still on stalks, as per the old cars, and then you've got these nice rounded ramp pieces, which are just used to make the bonnet, and then inside of here you've got the van engine, as you can see in here, in here somewhere at least. Wonder if I can uncover it by this. Let's just do that. So yeah, there it is, van engine. The gear ratio hasn't been changed at all because it's slow enough as it is. And yeah, so there we go, let's just do that. So yeah, the bonnet ornament is just this corner ramp because I thought it looked nice. And that just fits on a redirector with these ramp pieces, just make it look nice. Black runners as well, because I think the black and white is a nice contrast. Black and white has always been a good contrast of colours for any sort of construction or anything. And then moving back to the cabin, which is right at the front here. As you can see, it's got this sort of overhanging bit here, which makes it look very nice. You've got these pillars down the side, these black pillars, and then just a couple of bricks there, and then yeah, so you've got these redirectors for the side indicators, nameplate of the company, and then you've got the same sort of door and glass system. So you've got this nameplate here, and yeah, so the doors took a little bit of time, but then they are the same doors as the sports car. So once I'd done them for the sports car, I could just swap them over to the van. And then you've got these side runners, which are in chrome. The interior I've changed back to the nice oak wood because I think the oak wood looks really nice with this build. But I kept the brown seats because it matched with the oak, the brown oak wood interior of the car, or well, of the van. And then moving back, you've got white wheels with these with the black contrast as well again. So the mudguards are still black. And then moving to the back of the van, you've got your tail light, warning light, and then your reversing light. No high-level stop lamp, unfortunately, because I just haven't added it. But I probably should. But well, when I first built this, I forgot the reversing lights, so let alone extra brake lights. But then, yeah, so moving to the back, there's nothing much. It's just a standard box construction. And then in the back, you've just got these double doors which open with actuators, and then inside here, it's just open, but it does have this oak wood flooring inside, just pristine white. And then as for the actual service using this van, I've chosen on JW Basinger and Sons laundry service. Because, well, I just thought what was a typical name for some of these old style, for some of the old style sort of city or town companies, and you know, there's always and Sons companies, and then I was like, well, what do I want? I was building it in white. I thought the white and black looked good. What do you normally associate with white? You associate with being clean, so laundry. So yeah, it's JW Basinger is just the company of choice that I just decided to dream up. It's just a random name, and of course and Sons because it you know, gives it an old feel, because there's not really many shops that say and Sons or something, or and Daughters, for example, at the end. So yeah, just JW Basinger and Sons laundry service. JW Laundry is the shortened name, and then on the back, of course, it's just got the same writing on the back through the double doors. And then these are just, I just made these by writing them on 2x2 flat nameplates and just putting them like so. I'm trying to avoid showing an obvious split in the two. And then of course we've got the handles. There we go. How could I forget that? But yeah, so the handles on the back there. So oh no, I want to exit in the van since I was just talking about it. There we go. So here's the van. There's the lights on it. So you've got yeah, again from the front, that's how it looks. Warning lights, front, side and rear, and then stop, reverse. And then of course if you take off that, then the tail lights of course do act as brake lights. Should probably add some high level brake lights, but I'll do that later. So yeah, white and black, looks very nice. Here's how it looks from the inside. Again, no side mirrors, whoops. But yeah, so white and black looks very nice. The oak wood inside as well, looking very nice and tidy as well. You've got the nice sloped frontal hood with the hood ornament. It's just a nice looking van. Of course doesn't go very fast because it is just the standard van engine, but hey, it can do jumps like that, and yeah, that didn't suffer any damage. But in the daytime, here's how it looks, all very nice and pristine. For JW Basinger and Sons, I'm sure they're very happy with their laundry van, as they go around doing your laundry for extremely reasonable prices. And of course the controls for this pretty much the same, WSAD, headlights, warning lights, whatever. Pitch is how you open the doors, like so, and the doors, yeah, just, well, they do their door things and they just open at a 90-degree angle, and then if you press Alt, there you go, pressing Alt and Alt and pitch will open up the rear doors. Unfortunately, it's too small for you to actually get inside, but then I suppose if you were just, you know, putting laundry in there, you can always just sort of crouch and just grab the things out the back of the van. And so yeah, if we get back in it there, and then oh, there we go. So yeah, just your standard old van. So yeah, that was the first van that I made, and because I seem to be building everything in twos, I decided that I would try and make a van which you can, well, you know, walk into. So I built another van, obviously. And this one is a special van. As you can see, it is a motor vehicle repair van. And because I thought that the black looked very nice how it was, I decided that I would just make the entire thing black. Sorry there. As I just drink up the last bit of tea, you would have heard my echoing, no doubt, as I accidentally talked into the cup. But yeah, so The van itself has been slightly changed. The front I have changed to these nice rounded bricks and these flat 1x1 plate pieces, which gives it a nice bumper at the front, all in chrome, and those are just held on by some cylinders and some flat bricks. And then the nameplate, which is RR1907, and you'll find out in a moment. The front grille is gone back to chrome, as it was for the JW Basinger and Sons van as well. Lights still on stalks, side runners are still there, but this time in chrome, because chrome and black works very well, I think. The top I made more flat and boxy, to be more of a sort of box van. Again, using the same flat plates to just make the whole thing look very nice and sleek, and not leaving just not leaving studs or anything out. And then on the side, Rolls Royce, because this is a Rolls Royce vehicle repair van. And exhaust down the bottom, as it was for the other van. And then as for the interior, I've kept it with the oak wood. However, I changed it to the beige leather seats, because I just thought they looked nice. And again, same as the other van, you've got the gear stick and the steering wheel there. Again, on stalks. And then Rolls-Royce has been written on the side in their standard blue writing, as it was of the period. You've got this chrome sort of underneath, which makes it look very nice with the chrome mudguards, which just gives it a subtle chrome along the bottom of the van, as you saw with the black bottom of the van for the white rest of it from, the other van. I kept the overhang, and I kept it with these rounded ramp pieces, which just attached to a brick. And then in order for you to walk into the van, I had to make the whole thing taller, so I used some of these new, at the time of recording, rounded ramp pieces, 1x1, just small 1x1 rounded pieces, rounded ramps. And then the whole thing was just made bigger with these standard bricks, and then flattened off with some flat plates, as per the other one. On the side, I've got a little Rolls-Royce logo, RRR. There's the Rolls-Royce logo, and then Rolls-Royce has been written on the side as well in the nice blue writing. You've got their slogan down there, manufacturing the best car in the world, as was their motto at the time. And then, of course, again, on the back, RR1907 for the rear number plate. And then on the back, I've just got a small Rolls-Royce logo, as it is there, and then Rolls-Royce again, and again their slogan, manufacturing the best car in the world, is adorning the back of their van. And again, more handles, this time in white, just so that you can see them in the black contrast. And as for the reason that it's RR1907, the RR you can guess, which is Rolls-Royce, and then 1907 is the year that the company was founded. So that's the reason for that number plate being RR1907, Rolls-Royce 1907. And then if we head to the back, it is bigger for you to walk in. However, you can't actually walk into it due to what I've put in it. So in the back, I've just put some spare wheels, because of course this is a sort of mechanics van, or a vehicle repair van, and so you've got just some wheels there. You've got some oil filters in boxes with the Rolls-Royce logo, so RR oil filters there, Rolls-Royce oil filter, and then an air filter just in a box there, Rolls-Royce air filter. And then heading to the bottom, you've got got a nice pristine chrome shiny toolbox, which is just made with a handle and a variety of bricks. You've got some wiring in a box there, just in case you need some spare wiring. Spark plugs just in a little box there. Spare pistons for I don't know, motor repairs maybe. And then bonnet ornaments and wheel caps just in a box right at the top, which you can just grab from that top shelf. And of course there is the random shelving in the interior. And then down the bottom you've got a Rolls-Royce battery, just in case you didn't know what it was. It's got written on it battery, and in case you didn't know what company or car it goes in, it's Rolls-Royce, as per it says RR on it. So yeah, lots of branding of Rolls-Royce for this van. However, if we exit into the sunlight this time, huzzah, here's how it looks in the sun. All very nice. Here's the view from inside, of course. The oak and the black make a very nice look, I do think. And then just these light coloured wheels. And then, of course, the front grille ornament there on top. And then what you've got is you've just got a sort of boxy look from there. And it's the same controls as the previous vans, so H for headlights, J for warning lights, and then pitch is how you would open up the side doors, as you can see there. And then alt and pitch is how you would open the back doors. And of course you can then have a look inside. And whilst you are big enough now to fit in this one, there's no room. There's no room other than being able to squeeze in. And were this real life, you could easily get yourself into this van just by squeezing and just walking sideways along there, facing the shelving that you needed to get to. And if you have a look, you are of course able to fit in this time, as you can tell from the fact that I am actually standing on the floor of the van, which is quite a feat. And yeah, if we just close up that, there we go. We just close up the rear doors. The rear doors, they're at head height, so you can look inside of it. And yeah, it's just a very nice Rolls-Royce van. So yeah, if you were, for example, in a roleplay server and you needed to roleplay car mechanic or something, break out the Rolls-Royce van, go and help out all of the people as you help to manufacture the best car in the world. And so yeah, just it's a very nice van. It's definitely my favourite van of the two. I'm not sure why. Possibly because of the black, possibly because of the whole interior detailing. But yeah, so that is the Rolls-Royce van. But then I decided to go one bigger, because I realised that I have got many things. I've got tanks, tanks, armoured personnel carriers, ambulances, armoured recovery vehicles, berg panzers, experimental vehicles, sports cars, police cars, SUVs, motorbikes, planes, helicopters, even a vertibird, and a Kettenkrad, and trucks. I was missing one thing, which is a bus, because nobody can function without a bus. So I went ahead and made a bus, as you do. So yeah, I realised that I didn't have a bus, so I decided to build another 1930s style creation, and this time it was a bus. And I started small, in bus terms at least, which is with a single-decker bus. It's just a very standard single-decker. There's nothing much special about it. From the front, you've got these printed grille pieces on the side of the engine. Then on the front, bus 1930, because it's a bus in a 1930 style. Indicators there. Again, lights on stalks. I built this thing from scratch, so I started with an axle and went from there. So yeah, on lights on stalks, you've got this little bonnet, or well, maybe not bonnet, but radiator ornament thing. And then you've just got these grills, these grid pieces which act as a grill, and they make a very nice grill. Just a couple of black bits there as well, just to add a little bit more detail. On the side here you've got the mud guards for these wheels, which have got little hubcaps on them, which is all very nice. And then you've got the lights, these side indicators on the side of the bus there. London Transport, because of course, keeping with all of my other 1930s vehicles, we're in Britain, so London Transport. And then of course you've got, I was looking at pictures of the buses of the period, either restored or just perhaps historical photos, and I saw that most of the London buses had these white lines on the side where the windows were, so yeah, white. These are just white plates, and then you've got these glass 3x2x1 flats, which are just obviously windows. And then coming to the back of the bus, you've just got a 6x2x1 flat, which is held on with a couple of redirectors, which just got some plates just attached to them, and they just hold up the back window. And then on the back you've got your tail light, brake light, warning light, reverse light, and then extra high level brake lights, and then of course bus 1930 just on the back. There's the exhaust as well for the bus, and then you've got the mudguard there, standard wheel. All of this is in dark red because it looks so much better in dark red than it does in normal red. If you wanted to, I could select the same paint and change it to normal red. That's how it looks. Yeah, I just prefer the dark red. It gives it a nicer look to it, as you can see. So yeah, it's just in this nice dark red. Although I could put it in normal red, but I just think, yeah, dark red. I've been working with it up until now for the buses, so stick with this. So yeah, the exposed mud guards. It's just got a nice front end to it. It's got these rounded ramps, and then in order to cover it up, because there was no easy way of covering it up, I've just used a bunch of these rounded bricks, which help cover it up very easily. And then the door, you can open the door to let passengers in and out. It's not tall enough to let you walk about, and besides, even if it was, the game won't let you go down too wide spaces. So yeah, the whole interior of the bus is really for looks. You can't actually move around in here. But as for the driver, here's where he is. He's got his gear stick there. He's got his sort of horizontal mounted steering wheel off buses, and then everyone's all raised up off the ground slightly. The whole inside is in nice oak wood. Here's how those white pillars are being held up with just a 3x1x1 brick. Again in oak wood, because the whole interior of it is just nice looking oak wood. The roof, well, the interior roof is just some of these flat plates which are in white. And then you've got some interior lights just in here for when it gets dark, so you can light up the interior for your passengers. It's got a bunch of seating. The mud guards slightly in the way of some of the seating, which is why they're not completely at the front here. And then you've got the triple wide seating at the back there. And then just these bricks here, which just which just cover up the mud guards, as you can see. Just covers up those black studs there. And from the front, or at least from the driver's view, you've got these, which are the, of course, wing mirrors, and those are just up from the front, angled slightly down, and they just let you have a look. And then here's the bus route and the bus number. So this is, the bus route number rather. So this is on Route 44, which is to Battersea Park via Mayfair. Which is just a made-up route, I imagine, and that's just held on with some of these nice rounded ramps, which I think just fit in perfectly, or fitted perfectly to mount those up. And then on the back, the route number 44 just on a little plate there, which is then held on again by a rounded ramp, and then the whole thing's just flattened off with these flat plates, and then you've just got this rounded ramp here, which just gives it a nice look from the front. Just gives it a slightly rounded look, and also from the side as well. It looks rather nice. So if we exit, here's how it looks. You've of course got lights there, standard J for your warning lights. You've got your tail lights, your brake lights, your reverse lights, and your warning light. And then from the front, of course, that's how it looks. I think it looks, period. I think this sort of fits in with the theme. Here's how it looks from the driver's view if you were looking backwards at, for example, a rowdy passenger. Here's how it looks. It can seat, how many was it? I think 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, it can seat 11 and then 12 with the driver. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so 11 people. And then, of course, here's how it looks from the front. You've got the radiator, little topper ornament thing. Got the lights on the stalks there. The whole top, I think, doesn't look too bad. London Transport, of course, written on the side. Number 44 for the bus route. And then, does a nice jump. It's very resilient, actually, to doing jumps due to how high it is off the ground, as you can see. Uses the thinner wheels with the little hubcaps on them, and then once it gets dark, I can show you the interior lights and things. But yeah, so it uses the normal van engine under here somewhere. There, you can just about see a glimpse of it. There it is. Oh, there goes a wheel. Okay, I wasn't looking where I was going. But yeah, if we just override the time to night time, say it was a night bus service, here's the headlights, and then of course the interior lights, because your passengers need to see. Boom. Q is how you activate them. These are beacon lights, and that's just how I did the interior lights, and they're just simple 1x1 light flats. And they just light up the interior. As you can see, here's how it looks, and then its pitch is how you open the side door to let passengers in and out. Not that you can fit in, as I keep saying, but or at least you can sort of fit in. There's no crouching, but you can fit in. If these lights weren't in the way, I imagine you could walk inside, but I mean, you can't walk very far, so it really is just for show. But yes, you can open up the door and everything and let people in, and it's just a nice sort of single decker bus. I'm very pleased with how this turned out. In fact, at the time of recording this, at the time of recording this, I uploaded this yesterday, which was the 10th of February. Today is the 11th of February, or at least it is the evening of the 11th of February. I uploaded this on the 10th of February, and this was the first bus, and then a day later, on the 11th of February, which will be today, I uploaded another bus. But yeah, let's just finish up with this bus, and then I'll show you the magnificence of the second bus, because well, I mean, you've got all of your necessities on this bus for the driver. You know, your wing mirrors, your front lights, and everything. You've got seating for 11 people, which is probably going to be more than enough on any brick rig server. So I mean, at least there is that. Got all the lights that you need. I haven't left out any this time. You've got all the brake lights that you need. And yeah, this was the single decker bus. But I went and took it one step further. Is the sun coming up? No, it's setting. Sorry, I just needed to make sure of that. So I went one better. I built a double-decker bus. Here it is. Gaze at the magnificence. So, from the front, it does look a bit derpy, I will admit. I mean, the wing mirrors do look a bit off, and these I tried to put them on stalks, but I might as well have just put them on the chassis. But yeah, so you've got your headlights there, you've got your light cylinder there. This is based on the old Routemaster buses, which is why you've got this cutout bit here, which is where the driver sits. You've got this big radiator or grille right there, and then there's the engine there, just a standard bus motor, or a standard van engine. And then you've got the mudguard there, obviously. London Transport is again written on the side. And again, because we're in Britain, and the Routemaster buses, this is how the driver sits. So you've got the gear stick there for the driver, and then you've got the steering wheel there. This is the bonnet, and the bonnet does actually open, which is quite a feat. The bonnet does open. So we'll start off with the bottom, with the bottom deck, because of course this is a double-decker bus. This is the biggest, I think, civilian thing that I've tried making. Making. This is the largest civilian thing that I've tried making. Let me just double check that, because what have I got? I've got race cars, buses, vans, ambulance, rather big, police car, caravans. Yeah, this is the biggest civilian thing that I've tried making. So yeah, the bonnet opens, and you can have a look inside at the engine. Not there is much to see. But yeah, so with the bottom deck, London Transport, you've got all the lights that you need. You've got your brake lights there, more brake lights, tail light, reverse light, warning light. The number plate again on the back and the front, DDB 1930, obviously standing for double-decker bus, 1930 double-decker bus. The exhaust is in the same place because it fits there. The whole of it is just been panelled off, so these are all just loads of flat plates and panels. And I tried to leave the mudguard open by just using some of these rounded bricks which fan out if I can select them. As you can see, that's how they look. As you can see, that's how I built that, and that just sort of sits on there like so, and that gives it a nice effect, just gives it a nice cutout there. And again, on the same, this has got slightly more rounded, but it gives the same effect. That one as well, same sort of cutout shape. And of course, I started off building it from the chassis of the single-decker bus, because why build a new chassis when I've got the same old one? I had to elongate the back and the front, I think, but yeah. I used the basic chassis, so yeah, I just sort of built around that. So it's got the same old wheels on there, same old little hubcaps, which are a really, really helpful addition to the game. These were just so useful to have. So yeah, then you've got your wing mirrors. I probably should have put them up, but I instead decided to put them down. They do look, the front of it does look kind of derpy. But as for the interior, you can fit, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can fit 9 people on the bottom deck alone, which is, well, it's only 2 off of the whole of the single-decker bus, and this is only on the bottom deck of the bus. But the entirety of the interior here, this uses just flat plates which have just got this nice oak wood. It's the same building for the columns, so 2x1 flat with a 3x1 brick, which just, well, 3x1 flat, which then just connects and uses all sorts of things. If I in fact just remove this side panel, you can see all of the work which goes into it. If I then move the London Transport sign, there you go. This is how it looks from the inside, just a mass of these 1x1x0 redirectors which just hold on all of these panels and things. And yeah, so that's how that was achieved. And then, because the old Route Masters and things had this open back, they didn't have a back door, they just had this open back, which just had a pole here, which people would just grab onto and hop on, and then the conductor would stamp their ticket, or you know, punch their ticket, you know. And then you've got the stairs heading up to the top deck. Due to the pole, you can't actually walk inside, as I will show. But yeah, so the rear window here on the bottom was just using these 3x2x1 flats, which are then just held onto the back by this 6x1x1 brick. So yeah, stairway up uses these ramp pieces just to give it a nice flat bottom, but yet also showing the step shape as you walk up the stairs. So as you do walk up the stairs like so, upstairs you've got this pole which you would just hang on to and move yourself up, and then at the back you've got a couple of seating, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 seats up top, giving it a total capacity of, I think it was 21 people. Yeah, I think 21, then 22 plus the driver, so yeah, it's got a double the capacity, basically, of the single decker, which is exactly why you have a double decker, so that you have more capacity than the single decker does. So yeah, so you've got just some seating all around here. Oh, that's not good. I need to add a plate there. Let me just do that. Yeah, we'll go back to our old friends, the redirectors, and then just get a flat plate like so, and do that and that. Except we don't want to do that because we want all the grains to go in the right way, because otherwise it just looks ugly. So there we go, and that's how to build a bus. Tips 101. So there we go. So now that that's all been fixed, just make sure that everything else inside the seating is alright. Yeah, looks like it. Up top, yeah, nothing much done. You've just got plenty of seating, plenty of space, more interior lights on both the upper and lower deck. Again, the pole which you just grab onto, and it also helps keep the roof up. And then yeah, the roof is just using flat plates, and then you've just got these 8x1 flats, and then of course inside you've just got this white plates here, which just makes the roof look nice, basically. And then you've of course got the steps down to the lower deck and to get out. And then on the side, because you know buses are basically giant moving billboards, on the side I've just got some quick I've just got some quick adverts on the side. So you've got Drink Lions Tea, just advertising, of course, British tea, just to make sure that people know this is a British bus. Oh, and then I've also got a typical British newspaper, which is Read the Daily Mail, the nation's favourite newspaper. I don't actually know if that was their slogan for the time, but I just thought it would be something that a newspaper would make up. So yeah, that's why I've got that on there, and it's of course on the other side. London Transport as well. Don't know if I mentioned that, but it's London Transport again, written on the side of the van there, bus. And then this is going along route number 16, and that's Nelson's Column via Kensington Palace. So that gives you an idea of whereabouts this would be operating in London. I have no idea how far apart these two things are, so they could be across London, in which case it's an across London bus service, which is quite impressive. But yeah, so that is most of the bus there. Again, biggest civilian undertaking. There's the lights, so you've got your headlights and your tail lights. You got your reversing lights there and your brake lights, like there. And then of course you got that. And because it is dark, there's your interior lights for both the upper and lower deck, as you can see there, which is all very nice. Here's the view from the driver's cabin. So yeah, the driver would actually have a little door on the side here, which is how he would get out, but I haven't modelled it here. I could do, but I just completely forgot about it. I was just trying to get this thing done because, well, I'd spent a while on it anyway. So of course there is the rear view mirrors. You can't exactly see that one, but it looks derpy enough already, and I can't really change it. I'd have to move it everywhere, and then it would just look even worse. And then of course, like I said, you can open the bonnet, and that's done by pitch. And as you can see, there we go. You can now see inside of the Routemaster, or at least you can see inside of the engine compartment there. So there is the engine. And then you again open and close that with pitch. So yeah, there's that. And then of course you've got the grille there. And then yeah, it's a nice bus. The interior lighting really does help because, as you can see, really dark, really light. Plenty of lighting. So here's how it goes, and as well on the back it's got number 16 and Nelson's Column via Kensington Palace, again written on there. However, because it is so tall, it does have a big danger of flipping over, or at least falling over if you go around a corner too quickly. So I would suggest really slowing down when you come to corners, especially in the city, because otherwise, yeah, it will tip over. The actual double-decker buses need a 50-degree angle before they even think of starting tipping. That's how good the double-decker buses in London actually are, and how safe they are, because if they need a 50-degree angle, then they're basically going over anyway. Unfortunately, this is brick rig, so this just only needs a slight tap or gust of wind, and this thing will bowl over. But anyway, so yeah, it does look like an old bus, and it feels like an old bus. It's got the cut-out top there, or at least it's got that little balcony area up the top. I don't actually know what that is, but lots of the old buses have it. And then if we stop, there we go, then we sit, in one of the passenger seats. Here is how it looks on the bottom deck. So if we move up to, say, this one, front, you can see that's where the driver would be. There's where the conductor would be. You've got a pole there at the bottom of the stairs for passengers to help get them in and out. The conductor would probably sit at the back seat. And yeah, if we move down, there's the back seat there, right close to the open door. And unfortunately, your arms do go through the side of the bus, which is unfortunate, but oh well, we'll have to live with it. Of course, there's the nice interior lighting showing, and then if we head to the front of the bus up top, there we go, the coveted front seats of the double-decker buses, because everyone likes sitting in the top seats of the double-decker buses. That's like the only reason people want them around. But if we were to move to the back of the bus, there we go, right close to the stairway down. I was going to add railings there, but I forgot about them. So I can add them on at a later date. Of course, there's the Lions T advert on the side there. Yeah, it looks like a bus, it feels like a bus, it's got all of the features of a bus. It's got a plentiful amount of seating. I'm sure that no brick rig server is ever going to have more than 20 people in it, so you've got more than enough seating for you and your friends when you play brick rigs, for example. And yeah, this is just an old style bus, because I needed to pad out the 1930s build the 1930s builds with something other than sports cars, or other than race cars rather. So yeah, I decided to make buses because it also fills a gap, which is I need buses because I haven't yet built one. So yeah, this was just a nice double-decker bus. It's got all the features of a bus. Yeah, it's impressive, I will say, and I do very much like it. And yeah, that is all of my 1930s creations which aren't race cars. And so yeah, I'll thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe to them if you like them, and follow me in the workshop. And so yeah, thank you all for watching me. Well, watching my video, and goodbye.